Okay, so anybody want to tell me who the man is?
Cairo was looking him up.
What happened? What is
What
it?
did you find?
He's an American novelist.
Good. All right, so now you say he was an American novelist. When?
What is a novelist?
Yes. What is a novelist?
A writer
A,
of
a
novels.
writer. Good.
A writer of what?
Novel.
So what's a novel? A book? Kind of book. Look it up.
And so
Ralph Waldo Ellison.
you said Ralph
Waldo.
Ellison.
Uh-huh.
What did he write?
His name was Ralph Waldo.
Yes, we got here in 1914, right? That was born in 1914.
Yes.
Born 1914, expires when?
It actually don't have it in here. It just said, okay, maybe I need to go deeper.
So he was named after Ralph Waldo Emerson.
That's the way it appears. If that's what he found.
94 is when he passed.
Passed away. Do you have he passed away in 94? But his book was published in what year?
Which? 64, 53. His Shadow in the Act.
Not The Shadow in the Act. That's not the one that I'm trying to make sure that everyone reads.
Oh, Invisible Man.
Or that everyone knows about. It is Invisible Man.
It was published in 52.
Why do I want you all to read and know all of the material that Invisible Man is aiming at and talking about? Why is it important for you to know? Now, you know, it's really important for you to know. You know why?
Why?
I was watching a video not too long ago. You were talking to some Black Panther. Y'all were talking like y'all really knew what y'all were talking about.
Okay.
But how are you going to really know what you're talking about, but no one has really ever read Invisible Man?
Is that where the young man was in school in the South?
Yes.
And he, well, according to them, violated some rules and they
Yes.
sent him up north.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that is the book. But again, what I'm getting at is how is it that so many so-called black people are all talking about love in the community and they new Black Panthers and all this, but they've never read
Black Panther.
Invisible Man, and they don't even know who Ralph Ellison was. This is
So
going to
if
get
he
real
was
tricky.
named after Ralph Waldo Emerson,
According to Kedron, I
then
think
that means that his family must have had some kind of
they were aiming him at something.
yeah.
Almost, you can figure that. Why can you figure that when you think of A. Maceo Walker? That his mother and father must have been aiming him at something. How can you figure that?
Because of his name.
What about his name?
Named Antonio Marcel.
Well, the original name came from Antonio Marcel, but when by the time they instituted the name in English and Negroes read the name, they called him Maceo.
So Zambia. Do you know who Maceo Walker was?
I've heard of it.
Is it the
What have
gold-
you heard?
The Golden Bull? Bronze Bull?
Say that again?
Was it the Golden or Bronze Bull?
What are you talking about? In Cuba?
Oh, yeah.
In Cuba. In some cases
The
he was a
lion.
bull, but in other cases he was a lion. It depended on who was actually describing him.
So we're talking about A. Maceo right now.
No, he's talking about Antonio Marcel in Cuba.
I'm saying, but I said Antonio Walker. So
A. Maceo Walker is the person here, but he was named
after.
after the person from Cuba, which means that his mother and father had to really know something to be able to know about the Cuban general. How did they know about him? In other words, how were people in Cuba and Puerto Rico and Brazil actually coming to be known about by Negroes, colored people, black people in the United States.
Who had not long since been
Delegation.
enslaved themselves.
That's right. So that means that they had to be serious about understanding this thing. And it is not like everyone has been explaining it to us. Because when you learn the history of so-called black people, what do you learn about?
Slavery,
Civil rights?
civil rights.
But you know what
Jim
else
Crow.
I found out about? Well, I don't know. I didn't
And now
find it
Obama.
out
Mhm.
about
Martin Luther King
Ellison
Obama.
Walker.
Mm.
His people are from Indianola, Mississippi.
That's right.
So, I mean, we're talking about his mother and his father.
Okay, go ahead. I'm
So I'm just saying, so that cradle down there of information.
Well, Indianola is right down the street from Mount Biden.
Yes, it is.
So understand, those people were seriously trying to do for self. It was the people here and in other places, other communities around the country where so-called black people, Negroes, colored people didn't know anything about themselves.
So if we wanted to find out about Ellison Walker's family, where would be the first place that we would be looking, besides the Universal Life Papers?
What we probably are going to have to do is start with any dictionary, any encyclopedia, every bit of piece of information that we can find, some little piece, some little small piece to piece together with another little small piece. You know what somebody just said to me the other day? You see, media controls the way that we think. Have you ever heard that before?
I wouldn't say that they necessarily control the way that we think, but they do play a big part in the way.
They stir the narrative sometimes.
Okay, here's what I'm suggesting.
Steer the narrative.
Steer.
Like,
Steer.
And here's what I'm saying about steering the
Be
narrative
smart enough to see.
and everything else.
Learn how to discern.
Are y'all so damn dumb that you actually would allow people to have the power over you? That now they can take some electronic device that they develop
Tell you what to think.
and actually control your very being. I mean, you can't tell me that these children have to be that ignorant. So I have dedicated my life to making sure that all these, what's your name? You, what's your name?
Terry,
Terry. Who's the first president of the United States?
George Washington,
Good. And all I know is if we start early enough, and if they can do this and they can outthink whoever you say is your enemy, we might make it. But y'all keep waiting on the enemy to be nice to us. I know how we do this. Come on. Come here, Curio. Come here, Terry. Hold my hand, Curio. Come here, come stand over here, Terry. Hold my hand. Now, y'all ready? Y'all ready? Brother Charles, Miss Mary, I'm so happy to see y'all. You made it. I'm glad you're here. We're finna do something together. You ready? You ready? You ready?
Yes,
No,
sir.
yeah, say yes, sir.
yes sir.
Okay, you ready? All right, you ready? All right, here we go. We shall overcome. We shall. What are you doing? What are you doing? Come on. We shall.
Overcome.
They ain't with that one now.
Huh?
They ain't with that one.
Well, I'm with them if they ain't with that one. All I know is, at some point, we gotta quit singing. We gotta quit waiting on people to be nice to us. It's not gonna happen. So now I've gotta hope that this one, and where's Charles and Mary?
Whole class.
They went to the bathroom.
And Charles and Mary and Chad, and all of them are gonna be smart enough.
Say it
what were
again.
you talking about with the
I said if we go back 100 years, Woodrow Wilson was the president, and he let a movie be shown in the White House
Called
called
Birth of the Nation.
Birth of the Nation, and it empowered these ignorant white folk. and they went on the spree of hanging people. Shortly after that, you had your Durham, North Carolina. You had Black Wall Street, Oklahoma. You had a number of places.
You had the killings that happened in Tulsa, what everybody's calling Black Wall Street. But that's nonsense what they're doing. But what you had was the murders that took place in Gap, Greenwood, Tulsa, Oklahoma. And we don't know anything about these things. But yet, we would actually behave in such a way to where we're not really trying to learn. And if you're not trying to learn, you're not trying to make yourself smarter, then that means you don't want to survive. Not only that, you're getting ready to have children, aren't you?
Why are you looking at me? Not anytime soon. Just saying.
Maybe not anytime soon, but are you a female?
Yes.
Well, if trust me, 9 times out of 10, whether you like it or not,
Sometimes so.
I don't know if it'll be sometime soon, but it'll possibly be that it'll happen. All right, but even if it doesn't happen for you as a female, most of these young men here are going to have children. Now, at some point, when I say have children, I don't mean they're going to actually
Physically.
birth children physically.
Right.
Men can't do that. I know they got y'all thinking that that's possible, but you can get that out of your thoughts.
Adam did.
Well, see, there we go with that nonsense. Y'all need to quit doing your children like this. As long as that's what you're doing to your children, we're going to have this problem. And we got our children running. Carol, didn't you tell me you wasn't about to cut your hair? That's what I'm saying. We got children, our children actually thinking like that. Yet you tell me we need to put up more pictures like the two that were so sharp. But yet, when you look at our children, none of them are thinking about being sharp like that. Why not? Why not? You know, I'm suggesting that when they go to school, they should be dressed like they're going to church. When they go to school. Why am I suggesting that?
When you dress well, you feel well, you do well.
That's definitely so. But I know one thing. If you dress like you dress when you go to church, how are you going to behave? Properly. So that's the way we should dress when we go to school. You're in uniform, so you behave according to the way you have to behave wearing uniform, right?
Yes, sir.
And that's a good thing. What about you? You in your uniform too?
Yes, sir.
Well, good. At the same time, I like for him to be sharp. I want him to experience the tailor shop as early as possible. As early as possible. How do you think they should be before they experience the tailor shop? You say 2. That's really a little early there. But stand up. How old are you now?
10.
You think it's about time for him to experience the tailor shop?
Yes.
At 10, yes.
He had a graduation at Montessori's, and he was the only one with slacks and button-down shirt.
Do you still know not to play when you put on your shoes, your dress shoes? You don't get to playing with everybody, huh?
His mother got upset because he wasn't jumping around like the other kids. He was like, no, I'm not going to do that right now. He had on his slacks.
That's how we're supposed to behave when we put on our clothes, right?
You read.
Right? But wait a minute now, what's going to happen if we put on play clothes and go to school?
You can play.
Now, if everybody knows this, then why are we doing it?
You're going to get in trouble and you might get suspended.
You mean if you play?
I mean, like, if you wear play clothes.
Wait a minute, you know what? When's that? Did I see you last week?
Yes.
I did? But what word did you have to learn that you were going to know when you came back to class this week? Do you remember? Did we have any word?
It was like 2 weeks, or a few weeks until she was like learning the word, like the word like stopping on it. But she was like, I felt like you forgot it.
Who?
You.
Forgot what?
Like when Mary had to study.
What word did you have to spell, Mary?
I didn't have to spell the word.
What did you have to do?
Say the word.
Which word did you have to say? All right, no problem. James, what word did Mary have to learn how to spell? What? I didn't hear you.
Hexacosio, hexaconta, hexaphobia.
No problem. Devin,
Listen to what they're doing.
stand up so you can see him speak and then say it well enough for them to hear you.
Hexacosio, hexaconta, hexaphobia. Hexakosioii. Hexaphobia. Hexacosio, hexaconta, hexaphobia.
Did he say I?
I.
Oh, he said I. Okay, good. Good. And what does that mean?
Fear of 666. Fear of 666.
What part of the word means fear?
Phobia.
Good. So it's a fear of anything having 3 6s in it, right?
Yes, sir.
So if you got a fear of anything having 3 6s in it, why is everybody so happy when they see 3 7s?
Oh my God.
Because they glad they didn't see the 6s.
3 7s, you say is the sign of God. Oh, you were just guessing.
I heard it, but I didn't research it.
Don't guess. Wait, Chad, come show Miss Mary and Charles where they can find a dictionary around here. So, oh, wait a minute, I see. See, go back there to Miss Zambia and tell her you need a dictionary.
See that.
Go back there to Miss Zambia and tell her you need a dictionary. Well, wait a minute, let me see that one. Let me see that one.
They took all the real dictionaries.
That's a beginning dictionary. Is this good enough for you, or do you need a high school or college? I mean, this is good enough. Okay. Well, she's giving Mary a children's dictionary. So, do you want a college dictionary, or you that one good? That's good. Okay, but you know I want you to hurry up and graduate to the college dictionaries, right? Both of you. I don't want you to be in children's dictionaries forever, right?
Yes, sir.
You know, if you're in there a long time in a children's dictionary, I'm gonna have problems because that means I gotta go backward. I need you to come forward. All right? So you gotta keep up, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Wait a minute. Tell me what an interrogative is. Interrogative. Interrogative. I'm listening.
An interrogative sentence to tell something, to ask something that ends with a period. Question.
Okay, well I'll go for that. That's not bad.
Good job, James.
So
Y'all did a good job.
that's not bad. Give me okay, James, are you trying to tell me what an interrogative is also?
I was trying to give him a high five.
Well,
I was trying to give him a high five.
oh, okay, give me a high five. All right, now, give me a word that is one of the 5 particular interrogatives that I need you to know when you want to make an inquiry about something, when you are investigating something, when you are researching a thing.
Who?
Who? All right, good.
What?
What?
When?
When?
Where?
Where?
How?
How? No
What?
problem.
Sometimes.
What?
Why?
Why? Definitely. Why? You need to know, you need to ask these questions, and you need to know the answers to these questions
Do?
in order to find things out.
What happens if you don't ask all of those questions? Is it possible?
Well, it is possible for you to get to what you're looking for by only asking one of the interrogatives, but it's wise that you know how to apply all of the interrogatives.
Mr. Black, when I'm asked to do a workshop on how to write a grant proposal, those 5 or 6 words if you are writing a proposal, whatever it is that you're writing about, if you can answer all of those questions, all of those words, each one of them, you've written a successful proposal. It's just that simple. So, don't want you to forget that. All you have to do is to answer those basic, or respond to those basic words, and you have written a proposal. The only thing you need to know is what order to put them in. And the first one is usually why.
What was your, what's what it say?
I'm saying, thank you.
Why? Why are you writing this proposal? And usually the way it's gonna turn out, be asked of you in the guidelines is a need. It will be a need assessment or a need statement. But need and why are really the same thing.
Well, they don't need to know that. They don't care about it like that. All they want to do is know how to get a good job at McDonald's.
What?
No.
No, we
What?
don't.
You really want to learn something? Oh, the more you learn, the more money you can earn.
Ask him what's the code.
Terry,
They have the hoop.
who is A. Maceo Walker? Who was he? A. Maceo Walker. Who was he? No, that's not it. Charles, who was A. Maceo Walker? Do you have any idea? No. Okay, now, we made it full circle. So understand, if we do not know information like that, when we are getting to be older people, it will limit our ability to grow intellectually. If we limit our capacity to grow intellectually, we won't have the skill that we're going to need so that we know what to do when the interrogator starts asking us the interrogatives that we need to know how to keep our mouths shut about it.
There's a hand over here.
Who was that? Yes.
And Maceo Walker was an African American businessman.
Louder.
He was an African American businessman.
Okay, what kind of business did he accomplish?
Universal Life Insurance.
He started the Universal Life Insurance Company. Where's the building located? Where's the building located?
I don't know.
You don't know. Do what it takes to find out right quick. Y'all do it any other time, only.
Somebody bought the building out, right?
That's what they're saying. It appears that just what you said. Somebody has acquired the building. Isn't that strange that we have to say somebody has acquired the building? Why is it that we don't know who that somebody is? But it's important that they're absolutely extremely brilliant, that we're smart in the future. When you were a young person, I was trying to show you how to start thinking towards going to school and being able to pay for your college tuition. Well, the reason that's so important is because and most of the people that we're relative to, they don't know what they're doing. And our parents wind up going in debt for how long?
Ever.
Basically forever. They don't know what they're doing when they sign those papers for y'all to get these loans to do what? Go to school. They don't have a clue to what they're doing. And then they sign their lives away, you sign your life away, and 9 times out of 10, they go to school, you're owing all this money, so when you get out of school, now what's going on?
Working to get out of it.
You're working just to get out of debt for the rest of your life. And this doesn't make any sense. So some kind of way, you've got to be smart enough to go to school, and you've got to make sure that everything is paid for. Why is that important? You're going to get a master's?
Eventually.
You're going to get a PhD?
Sure. I don't know, Mr. Black.
Why is it important? What about you? You going to get a master's? Or are you going to get a PhD? Why are you going to get a PhD?
so I can get my own job without nobody paying for it.
I don't know about a job, but wait a minute. Why would you get a PhD? I thought you were out in front of me because you got up and you went over and you asked your father what? What?
What did he get on his degree?
What did he get on his degree? He got a bunch of writing on his degree. What did he get on his degree? What are you saying? What did you ask? How far did he go?
Oh.
Okay, so what did he tell you? What did he tell you?
A master's degree.
Okay, he got a master's degree. All right, no problem. Now, you gonna settle for that? Shouldn't she do more than her father? I'm asking you a question. And all of us want to do more than our fathers and more than our mothers, right? If we don't, we're going to get stuck somewhere. Most of our mothers and fathers, where are they stuck?
Struggle.
What struggle?
Financial.
Where?
Financial.
Oh, financial struggle. You talking about on a job? Is that the financial struggle?
Basically.
Or not on job.
On a job. Are you leaving?
Yes, sir.
All right, keep up. You got to find out where we are on the site and start catching up there too. I know, and we didn't discuss where are you in that book. What grade are you in that book?
I'm in 10th.
You're in 10th. So what are you studying right now?
Biology.
Microbiology. What kind of biology?
It just says biology.
Just says biology. Do you know what microbiology is?
Dealing with microscopic organisms.
Such as a
Cells.
bacteria.
Cells.
It can be cellular, bacteria, viruses, any of that. All right? And we'll catch up when we talk. Why do I want you to get a haircut? Why? Tell me why you think I want you to get a haircut.
Keep America beautiful.
Keep America beautiful, no problem. Because there are certain people that want to get America back, right?
That's right.
And those certain people that want to get America back, especially dark-skinned people with afros. Huh?
The two black power.
Oh, two black power. Well, what are you supposed to do about it?
Blend in.
And
Sing with the uppercut.
sing them to sleep. Do not wake them up being loud, dragging everybody's eyes and attention to you. I'm trying to get this one to understand. I don't need her coming in first all the time. I need her to learn how to come in second, third, and sometime even fourth. But I want her to be better than anybody that came in first. It's just that I don't want them to see her too quickly. You know, she makes everybody see her. How come everybody look at you? Tell me why you think.
Because I'm beautiful.
Yes, yes, I like that. I like that. I like that.
And
She
what
said,
else? You said it last week.
what did you say last week? You don't remember? You said, because I'm smart. Isn't that what you said? Now, I want her to be smart. But I'm kind of like Pa Kent. Do you remember what Pa Kent told the baby? He told the baby, you know what? I need you to start hiding your power. Why did Pa Kent want the baby to hide its power?
Take it from him. Stop acting like
So what?
So they take it from the
Well, see, what's happening
Charles
is
had his
that.
hand up.
What did you say, Charles?
So nobody can find his secret identity?
His secret identity. Well, why did he have to have his secret identity. What was his secret identity?
He's a superhero?
He's a Superman. That's right. A Superman has to keep it to himself. You follow me? We don't want everybody to see that you are Superman. And just because you have the power doesn't mean that you need to make everybody see you.
Is that
Everybody's-
Invisible Man?
Huh?
Is that Invisible Man? The story of Invisible?
Well, kind of. Now, what happened in, you talking about Ralph Ellison.
Right.
We started.
Who was he talking?
You began the class today by asking the question, who was Ralph Ellison?
Did you hear that, Mary? What is the question?
What is it?
Ellison.
Who's Ralph Ellison?
Who was Ralph Ellison? That's right. Who was Ralph Ellison, Charles? Don't look at me like I'm crazy. You got a what in your hand?
A dictionary.
So what could he be doing? What could he do?
You know?
He could look up Ralph Ellison. Now,
Look up
it's going to be
Ralph Ellison.
that high school children's dictionary you got may not have Ralph Ellison. But you know, in a real dictionary, you'll have Ralph Ellison in there. Look him up. And what did he do? What did Ralph Ellison do? What did Ralph Ellison do? What did he do? Anybody can tell me. What did he do?
I'm not sure if he went to New York or whatever, but he had a letter. The head of the school gave him a letter and told him not to open it. But
Are you talking about the student that he wrote about? Or are you talking about Ralph Ellison himself?
well, I'm speaking of the student he wrote about.
The student that he wrote about.
Right.
But a lot of what he wrote about relative to the student was really about himself. Uh-huh.
You found it?
There's another author that we want to learn about, just like we're learning about Ralph Ellison. His name was J.A. Rogers. What did I say? J. Rogers. Now the J stands for Joel. How do you spell Joel? Joel. 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 How would you spell Joel? What?
J-O-Y-L.
That's Joel. I want Joel. Joel. Yes.
J-O-E-L.
You found it?
Joel. Right. Good. So take your time and
Ralph
practice.
Ellison.
Joel Augustus Rogers. Joel Augustus Rogers. Now, when you look him up in the dictionary, you may not find his name.
Joel
Mr. Black, there's a hand.
Augustus
What is it?
Rogers.
What does that A stand for?
The A stands for Augustus.
You say that?
Augustus.
Good, Augustus. That's what the A stands for. Joel Augustus Rogers. You got that?
Yes, sir.
All right, now, before it's over with, we're going to know when he was born, where he was born, why his mother named him what she named him at birth. Matter of fact, what was this guy's name? Marcus what? Marcus what? You said Marcus Mosiah. That wasn't his name at birth. What did his mother name him? What did his
Marcus
mother name him?
Aurelius?
What?
What is Marcus Aurelius?
His name was Marcus Aurelius. His name was changed later to Marcus Mosiah by the organization that he founded in New York City. All right?
Mr. Black, back up 1 minute, if you don't forget, to Ralph Ellison. Is not his novel
You
considered
found
the greatest?
Yes,
Okay.
the greatest American novel that has ever been written.
Of the 20th century.
No.
No,
In your book.
the greatest American novel that has ever been written.
Did you hear that, James and Daniel? We're talking about Ralph Ellison. What did Mr. Black say?
I didn't hear him because he was talking. Just telling me to look up my
Okay, you're looking up Ralph Ellison. Mr. Black, say it again so the boys will hear you.
Ralph Ellison accomplished writing the greatest novel that has ever been written in the history of the United States of America.
And what is the novel, Jasmine?
Invisible Man.
Invisible Man.
Have you read it yet? Why? No, this has got nothing to do with Jasmine. I want Jasmine and everyone to understand you are graduating from high school. And not only do you not know that the greatest American novel to have ever been written was written by Ralph Ellison, you've never been introduced to the book. Why? Come on, y'all.
They didn't need you to know all that.
Who didn't need you to know all that?
The educational system.
No problem. But now, how about your mother and father? Do they need you to know all of that? How about your relatives? Your teachers, all the people who say they care about you? Do they need you to know it?
No.
Huh?
No.
You say they don't need you to know it?
You
I
upset the
suggest
cop.
they need you to know it, but they don't have enough sense to know that they need you to know this. They just think that the whole world is supposed to love each other. It does not. It will not. And so that means you have to be powerful enough to survive in a world that does not like you.
Shadrach, what is a novel? Tell Mr. Black.
No, just maybe story.
What kind of story? I'll tell you what, let me help you, Shadrach, all right? Here's what we're going to do, all of us. Here's what I want you to think about. What is a nova? What is a novice? What?
A nova?
A nova.
Nova is a planet exploding?
A planet exploding that becomes a what?
Supergiant?
A supergiant what?
Planet?
It becomes a sun or a star. That's a nova. So it's a new star. Is that right? Okay. So I asked you, what is a novice? So what is November?
Like a month?
A month. What does the word mean?
9.
It means 9. Okay, no problem. And what does the number 9 represent? She just said it. What?
Last integer.
It is the last integer, but it represents something that is new. So now you're going to have to understand words in such a way so as when you hear a sound, you actually can translate what is being transmitted. Now, understand, when I'm saying to you what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to make these children brilliant enough to survive.
So novice is new or a beginner?
A beginning.
A beginning.
A beginner, a beginning, whatever you want.
So in the Catholic faith.
So in the Catholic faith, a novice priest is one who now castrates themselves in order to take the initiation to become a priest.
And the nun?
The nun is just somebody that didn't get none.
Dang.
I thought they called the nun a novice, no?
No. A nun is a female, and according to Catholicism and most of the other religions that evolved from Catholicism, females, women, don't have anything coming. And they cannot go to heaven. Yes.
When you said did you say prostrate or castrate?
I said prostrate.
Okay.
No, castrate is
So
when you
nuns
actually
can't go to
take
heaven?
something from somewhere. What?
Nuns can't go to heaven?
No, I didn't say that.
Oh, what did you say?
Women cannot go to heaven.
Y'all in trouble.
Women cannot go. Oh, you never heard this before.
Why?
Well, then that means because it's a rule.
We're bad, that's why we.
Because it's a rule.
Who made
I
up the
was
rule?
teasing.
Who made the rule? The rule was made as the canons were created. The canons are the rules of what is called the Catholic Church. So now you're going to have to go back and you're going to have to start examining who makes the rules. And usually it's the ruler. And usually the ruler is the one with the gold.
But what religions, no, not what religions, what denominations come from the Catholic Church?
Because don't some of these same denominations, didn't they start some of these governmental agencies?
They didn't necessarily start them. If which agency are you suggesting talking about?
CIA.
CIA does not come from a religious organization. The CIA is created by MI5, MI6. So British intelligence creates the CIA. The beginning of the CIA is a man called Big Bill Donovan. He's brought over from England in order to help the Americans create an intelligence agency. What is the supreme police force when they create the United States of America? What was the first police force created when the country was created? What was it? Now, don't you think this is strange? Here it is, you're graduating from colleges. You've been listening to nonsense all your lives, but you don't have a clue.
So Interpol was.
Interpol is an international police force.
But how about that Wild Wild West people?
Wild Wild West or Jim, you're talking about Jim West.
Sheriff.
No,
What did you say?
The sheriff.
Sheriff, no, sheriff comes from the word,
That's a good thought.
sheriff comes from the word sharif. It is an Arabic word, and that's where your sheriff actually develops from. You asked about the Wild Wild West.
I'm talking about, back to the question you asked about the agency.
The agency that the person that was in the movie Wild Wild West, the TV show, what he represented was during the presidency of Ulysses what? What does the S stand for? Who said that? Simpson, that's right. Ulysses Simpson Grant.
Go ahead, James.
James.
Who's James?
Stand up, James.
I was just saying this.
Change the name.
Ulysses Simpson Grant. Who does he come to be? What president is, what's number? What number president is he? Terry, you better be listening. What is his number?
18.
You said 18th. Why 18th?
Is it 23?
Who is 16? Who is 16?
17.
Who is
16 is
16?
Lincoln.
Who is 17?
Johnson.
Johnson. So now, after Johnson, you will get Ulysses S. Grant. Now, in your brains, when you're thinking, you're going to have to learn how to think quickly in such a way so that you now can set up your timeline. If you use the presidents to do this, it will be easy for you to ace all the tests.
And you know that Ulysses Grant had to be close to Lincoln because of the Civil War.
He was
Too much later,
he was one of the top Union generals. Now, while he is president, they form an agency under his presidency, and it is going to be known as what? The Secret Service. Why did they form the Secret Service?
So the president wouldn't die.
so they could guard the president, maybe, and protect him from being assassinated.
Like
Because who had just been assassinated?
Lincoln.
Abraham Lincoln. Who assassinated Abraham Lincoln? What group was John Wilkes Booth a member of?
KKK?
No.
Not the KKK. They were not in existence yet.
The Lincoln something conspirators.
No, not the Lincoln conspirators.
Knights of
There's a hand right
Round
here.
or something.
Knights of the Golden Circle.
Yeah.
Knights of the Golden Circle. Now, we're all guessing at this, but he said that so matter-of-factly. Why did you say that so matter-of-factly?
Oh, I was reading on it.
Why were you reading on it?
It's interesting.
Why was it interesting that you should want to find this out?
Well, I was looking at slavery, and I was running across these organizations.
Slavery? Who's slavery?
The institution of slavery.
The institution of the actual enslavement of people?
Right.
Okay.
And I ran across the Knights of the Golden Circle because they were before 1865, and they had a plan, a scheme to enslave all of Mexico, South America.
To enslave the people of these
people.
places.
They want a perpetual
Slaveocracy.
Yes, slaveocracy.
Yes.
So what is the organization again? The Knights of the
Golden Circle.
Knights of the Golden Circle.
Right. And
Look, is
this.
that, you asked the first question was what was the first agency? So is the Secret Service the first agency?
No. The Secret Service comes into existence under Ulysses S. Grant.
So you said there
But
was
the
one-
first police agency to come into existence, in what year does the United States become the United States?
I was just about to ask you that.
Don't ask me that. What year?
Was it Pinkerton? No,
It's right there in your hand.
What year?
89.
What 89?
1789.
1789 is when the United States comes into existence. But now, what was the country that was here before 1789?
the country.
Yes. The country, no. After the 13 colonies, they set up a confederation of states after the 13 colonies. So they were known as the Confederation of States, and they had the Articles of Confederation. In 1783, this land was recognized by England at a signing of a peace treaty. Where? In Paris. Where in Paris?
France.
In France, but it's Paris, France, but it's Versailles. That is the place. All right? And it's where all the peace treaties, including the peace treaty of Vietnam that was just signed not long ago. It's where they all signed. You got it?
Why did they?
Why did they what?
Why did they tell us 1776?
No, they didn't tell you 1776. Now what you have to figure out is why have you always believed it was
I'm
1776?
saying that's what they teach us.
No, you're not listening. You have to listen.
That's a date. That's not the date there.
I understand.
That's a date that they teach having to do with the Declaration of Independence. But understand, if the teacher is teaching that to you in the school, that ought to start telling you that they don't know what they're talking about. And you're not bothering to check what they are teaching you. You have to check. They're not obligated to teach you anything that's true. You're the one that's obligated to learn what is correct and what is not correct. You. Got nothing to do with the teachers. You actually think the people that control the state of Tennessee really want this child to learn how to truly be competitive? They need that dummy to get ready for the penitentiary. That's what they need. And if they can position you so that you go to prison, then they're getting what they want. But guess how they're getting it? You're giving it to them. You are giving it to them because you're giving them your children. And you say, but I love my children. I'm not giving them my children. No, 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 no. If you really love your children, you'll make sure they can read.
So they also create avenues for conscripts to become a part of the U.S. military. So if you don't, when you graduate from high school, if you don't qualify for anything else, no job, no college, no whatever, what else is left? You either gonna do what? You gonna go to the military or you going to prison? One or the other. And either way, it benefits the United States.
That's the choice we had in the 70s.
Sure is.
Same one now.
And the choice that you had in the Civil War, and the War of 1812, and the American Revolution,
So,
and every war that they've ever had.
But a lot of it is deliberate because they need to have people to go to the military. Now, what they ran into recently was they stopped just taking anybody. You have to know how to read or do something in order to even go to the army. They won't take you in the army now if you don't know how to read. So at the end of the day, the only thing left for that person is to make McDonald's or prison or something.
You
If
see,
you don't have
that's where the
skill-
labor force is. And that's where all the factories are now. Y'all don't know what's going on in the prisons?
But they gonna
You
get
do.
$15
Tell me what's
out.
going on in the prison.
They keep you in the cell for 23 hours.
No, that's just certain prisons. No, that's not all the prisons. Those are called max prisons. They're maximum security prisons. What?
They beat you?
No, they don't. They will beat you if they get a chance. What are you saying about showers?
You gotta take a shower at the same time.
What? If you drop the soap, what?
You might get raped.
Oh, so you get raped. You could possibly get raped. Okay, no problem. Good. So you know what? It would be wise that y'all start doing what is necessary not to have to look forward to going to prison.
But if you don't know how to read, if you don't have the skills, if you don't have something,
If you're not intelligent, you can pretty well rest assured in the United States of America, you going. Ain't no doubt in my mind you going.
Like right to the women not going to heaven. So you had us a while back look at.
Women not going to heaven, I had y'all look up what?
We had us to look at the angels that was created when they was creating with angel sculpture, and they was all men. It may have changed now, but.
And how about this? How about this? Tell me how many women you know who are priests, pastors, or for that matter, saints. Tell me how many women you know about.
one Saint Mother Teresa.
Well, that's just recently.
I say it, that's,
Well, that means she's the only woman in heaven, according to the rules. Now, why do y'all all have this argument in your brain with me? You never looked. You don't have a clue about this. Why do you want to argue?
but didn't that, women not going to heaven have something to do with when, initially when the church was formed, Christ, this Jesus figure was an ordinary person.
So they say.
And
So
then-
you believe.
I mean, had a wife and family or whatever, but later on they changed the doctrine so that.
So you mean the church actually changed its doctrine?
Yep.
All right, so y'all better figure all this out.
And
So-
then they made women, they had to do something with them, so.
All I know is this.
Put 'em out.
The rules of the original church, women don't go to heaven.
Right.
The only one recently that was admitted to heaven was Sister Teresa. Sister Teresa is older than anything that you can imagine. So that means all of y'all who getting ready to try to go to heaven,
Won't go.
no, you might go, but when you get there, the only female gonna be there is Sister Teresa.
You go to hell.
Yeah, Sister Teresa. Now, me personally,
Party.
I don't need that. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not too I'm not trying to quote the Bible, but from what I remember, it says something about 144,000 people. Like,
That's the whole witness piece.
Hold on. I want to, because that is in your brain.
I'm
That's
not,
in a whole bunch of so-called black people's brains. So we need to really address that.
I didn't say. I'm asking about it actually.
Well, how about this? Moses Dixon thought that particular thought that they say is in the Bible was so important that he put together a group of people and they actually brought together 144,000 men. And guess where they were all hiding? Because they had to hide. Because guess what year this is that we're talking about?
1861?
Look.
66 after the Civil War.
No,
Before?
before the Civil War.
1860.
It's a little
Oh,
bit
it's
before the Civil
It's
War.
1860.
And what happens is they've been putting that crew together for years. But they had to be real quiet because they were hiding guns. Now, I've always been amazed because this has been up on Learn to Learn too a few times because I always put it up. But I don't never say anything too much. You know why I'm not saying too much? It's because I got all these thousands of people looking, but they never bother to ask any questions. They never bother to say, well, what's going on? Well, what does this mean? So I never bother to say anything, because if they really want to know, what will they do?
Ask.
They'll ask. They'll research. They'll do something to find out.
Check.
What was the hospital that Moses Dixon caused to be in Mount Bayou? What was the name of the hospital? What? That's exactly right. The Taborian Hospital. That's where she was born. That hospital. The Taborian Hospital.
And where is it? In Mount Bayou.
In Mount Bayou, Mississippi. And that hospital actually came into existence because, you see, Frederick Douglass convinced Moses Dixon, don't y'all go on march on Washington. Just go on and join the Union and be part of the Union military, Union forces. They had 144,000 men armed.
Right. Now, John Brown, was he trying to collude with these guys or try to get them to join forces with him?
What happened is, John Brown is interacting with Frederick Douglass.
All right.
Frederick Douglass tells John Brown, well, you know, I can't do that, partner. So I don't think that's too smart, what you're talking about trying to do. Tell you what I'll do. I'm going to hook it up, so I want you to talk to a friend of mine. He arranges for John Brown, this is Frederick Douglass, arranges for John Brown to meet his friend in Canada, on the other side of the border. What was his friend's name?
Martin Delaney.
Mary Pleasant.
Her name was Mary Pleasance. Mary what?
Mary Ann.
I don't know if her middle name was Ann or not, but it was Miss Pleasance.
Mary Pleasant.
Mary Pleasance. She traveled from San Francisco to meet John Brown in Canada. And she gave John Brown cash. Does anybody know the amount of money she gave him?
Equivalent $10,000.
She gave, not equivalent to 10,000, she gave him $10,000.
Which would be almost $1 million today.
Right. Now, and what she was giving him was the money that would allow him to do what he's talking about doing.
Did he not meet Delaney?
He, John Brown,
Yes.
he may have met Delaney, but Delaney told John Brown the same thing that Frederick Douglass told John Brown.
Wasn't wise.
I don't think this is the wise thing to do. Are you asking me something?
So when you say Mary Pleasance gave John Brown
$10,000.
Now Moses Dixon though,
Moses Dixon had secretly, quietly caused 144,000 people to arm themselves. And they stretched all the way from Missouri, all the way to Georgia, and down into Florida. And they were ready to march on Washington. But you do understand what a march is, right? No, a march is not a parade, but what y'all been doing with y'all's marches, those are parades. But a real march, you're going to war. Because Mars becomes the word March, and Mars represents the god of war. And if you're going on a march, you're going to war.
Who was Aries?
What is who?
Aries.
What about Aries?
Who was it?
Who was Aries where?
I thought that was the god of war.
No, Aries is a priest. There are two priests, Athanasius and Aries. Aries becomes an Aryan. And the Aryans, most people think have something to do with some white folks coming out of the Caucasus Mountains or something.
Aryan brotherhood.
That's nonsense. An Aryan is actually a noble one who comes out of India. All right, but Aries and Athanasius are priests. And Aries actually becomes someone who was trying to get people to understand about one God.
Was that the god in Mars? I mean, is Mars the one for Greek?
No, Mars becomes a god of war, having to do with what is going to become from the Greek into the Roman mythology. And once you go back and you understand the Greek mythology and the Roman mythology, you can start understanding some of the things that you're thinking of as in the Bible or the Quran or the Bhagavad Gita or the other books. But the thing is, if you just ask questions and you don't really understand the question that you're asking when you get the answers, unless you know how to verify and research for yourself, you'll still have a problem. So we go slow. We go one step at a time. What time is it? All right, we got 15 minutes. Before we go to finish, what are the questions you got? Come on.
That was it for the time.
What you want to ask me something?
I don't know if I'm gonna ask it, but I do.
What is it?
Can you tell me where William Shakespeare's name is?
I'm not understanding you. What now?
William Shakespeare's name in the Bible.
Can I tell you where it is? No, I won't. In other words, I can.
I think you do.
Yeah, but I won't.
I don't know.
But you can find it twice. You can find it twice. All right? But also, there's an argument about whether or not William Shakespeare is actually the author, or I should say the translator of the King James Version of the Bible, or is it Tennyson? Or is it Tennyson? And so that is the argument that everybody is putting up. The name is there twice. Best way for you to find it is to look for it in a vertical position. So in other words, there will be a number of sentences side by side. You have to be able to follow the sentences, and you can follow the word, and the word will spell Shakespeare. I tell you what, all of you better pay attention to this. You best do your absolute best to come up with vocabulary words to inculcate into yourself. And you can think this is a joke if you want to, but when you get to be older and you can't speak, you can't utilize words to convey your thoughts, you are going to have problems in this country.
Mary had a hand up.
I'm sorry, Mary.
I have previous words. I remember some of my previous words.
She says she has a previous word that she remembers.
What is it?
Customer and dough.
Customer and what?
Dough.
You said dough? What is a dough?
It's some dough where you like it's squishy and you can make pizza with it.
Like pizza, like bread, a bread dough. How do you spell that kind of dough?
Dough. D O.
If you have a problem, look it up. Yes.
D-O-E.
Good, D-O-E. So now, that particular dough for a pasta or a bread product, can you... A pizza? Good. Can you tell me about the fawn or the deer that's a dough? How do you spell that? Is it the same way? No problem. Just look it up. Yes.
D-O-E.
So it's the same way. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
All right, good, good, good. Why all of a sudden are you getting interested and taking apart and calming down and doing what we're doing? Why did that happen all of a sudden?
Because I know what a dough is.
I'm going to go for that if you tell me that's what it is. I'll go for that.
It's a female deer.
It's a female deer. No problem. I'll tell you what you do. Stand up. Tell us for my people right quick. You don't remember. Okay, no problem.
I haven't been studying.
What? You haven't studied, no problem. Then tell Mary Desiderata. Desiderata. Out loud. Here, stand right over here so everybody can.
Listen.
All right, now let's go.
Go lascively and men.
Hold it. See, you hear that next door? Between that and some other things that's going on, if you don't command your speech, they won't listen to you. And they won't hear you. So let's go.
Go placidly amid the noise and the haste, and remember what peace there may be in peace. As far as possible, without surrender beyond.
Hold it. Start over.
Go placidly amid the noise and the haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. As far as possible, without surrender, beyond good terms with all persons. Speak your truth quietly and clearly, and listen to others. Even to the dull and ignorant, they too have their story. Avoid loud and aggressive persons, they are vexatious to the spirit. If you compare yourself with others, you may become vain or bitter, for always there will be a greater or lesser person than yourself. Enjoy your achievements as well as your plans. Keep interested in your own career, however humble. It is a real possession of changing fortunes of time. Exercise caution in your business affairs, for the world is full of trickery. But let this not blind you to what virtue there is. Many persons strive for high ideals, and everywhere life is full of heroism. Be yourself, especially do not feign affection. Neither be cynical about love. In the face of all aridity and disenchantment, it is perennial as the grass. Beyond a wholesome discipline, be gentle with yourself. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. And whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. Therefore, be at peace with God, whatever you conceive it to be, and whatever your labors and aspirations and those confusion of life, keep peace in yourself. Though in sham, drudgery, and broken dreams, it is still a beautiful world. Be cheerful, strive to be happy.
Not bad. Mary, can you learn that? Can you learn that?
Yes, sir.
Would you learn that for me, please?
Yes, sir.
Where's your copy?
No, right now. I don't have.
Do you have a copy of that, child? We gotta get out in a minute, so let me say this before we go. I am so tired of hearing black people call in talking some stuff about what the media is doing to black people. Anybody heard that? You've heard that? What are you saying when you say that?
Agreement keys there.
What are you saying when you say that?
Okay. All right.
Come on, y'all, talk to me. What are you actually saying when you say that the media is doing what it's doing to black people?
They have the power.
What?
It's giving them the power.
Who giving who the power?
The media.
It's giving who the power?
We're giving them the power to determine how we are or what we are.
So you mean to tell me that so-called black people, according to you, are so dumb that the media, as you call it, can just control the way they think or how they see everything, right?
Daniel,
Is that right?
you and.
Well, I don't think so.
You and the board.
And if so,
Clean up.
I'm going to make sure that the media doesn't have that power with these children.
Shadrach.
So how
on
about
the
this?
floor,
What
all
we're
the papers,
doing
stuff that's on the floor.
is we're creating the Red Pill Media Group. That's our group. Now, do you have it in your heart to project some nonsense, some inferiority into these children or into Miss Camelli? So why are we concerned about the media? If we were really concerned about this, then we would do all that we can to get folks to tune into the Red Pill Media Group. Because we can let them all know that they can trust us to make sure we're going to do all that we can to make sure their children are brilliant. You follow me? In other words, we ain't got to be scared of anybody out here. You know, somebody says, well, we got to be scared of CNN. No, you don't. Click. Yeah. Why do you have to be afraid of that? Click. You can watch something else. Matter of fact, watch me. Watch Jasmine. It's real simple, ain't it? And then we're going to be mad because, see, them old dirty people with their media, why is that necessary? All you got to do is do what?
Take the book from the
Click.
mirror.
Real simple. Dang, Charles, I thought you was going to play your trombone for us. I got that coming, right? I can look forward to that, right? I think I hear you. Okay, well, we good. We good. Come on, y'all, let's get out of here.